Have you seen some of these new map intros I've done, by the way?
Yeah, I've seen most of them. This is the. I assume this was the cowboy one.
Yeah, that's just like the music right out of the jukebox for StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
like just went to the cantina and recorded it. Anyways,
Alright.
guys, welcome back to the Acer Team Story Cup. This is game number 4 currently underway. As you can see in the top right corner of the map, or not of the map, not down here, more up here on the overlay. It is 2-1 in the favor of Invictus Gaming. The guy on a bit of a rampage so far today, spawning the top right corner of the map, the Terran player known as Invictus Gaming's XY.
And in the top left, we got our red Protoss player playing for Team Fnatic. It is Harstem. And
Harstem? Dude, he killed Jakshi.
Yeah, I was just about to say, man. His PvT so good.
Like, I like XY and all. Respect goes to XY. He's had some really good moves and decision making so far, but bottom line is, if Harstem's got the potential to kill Jakshi, honestly, he's got the potential to kill just about anyone.
Yeah. He played really impressively in WCS. Who was the other Terran he was put up against?
For what, WCS?
Yeah, there's a group of 3 Terrans.
I'm off on it. I didn't get to see his group stage, so I don't know. This is, it's actually frustrating. Just a side note, what you think. For those who don't know, like, I've been actually like accused of hating StarCraft because I don't get to watch all the WCS matches. But the thing is, sometimes like you have to cast because you've made the commitment. Like, there's so many instances. Like today, right now, for example, I'd love to sit back and watch TLL, one of my favorite Zerg players, next to Namshar, of course, play in WCS. But we're casting the Acer Team Story Cup, and I got no complaints about it. But the sad reality is that we are gonna miss some casts from time to time, and it bums me out. It really does. But
yeah, but I do have the results up here actually. I know Harstem practiced a lot for his group, like hundreds and hundreds of PVTs for his group, and he was playing in the group of Yoda, Bunny, and Jakshi, and he went 2-1 against Jakshi and 2-1 against Bunny. So that was really well done. He played so well in that group. So
yeah, those are some really tough Terrans to go through too.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Getting back to the way this matchup goes, guys. Number 1, we got the Reaper coming out from XY. Incredibly important. But Harstem has not actually done the Cybercore behind the mineral line as we often see, is that just kind of blocks out the Reaper from going behind it. So I guess he's going to be focusing a little more on keeping it from getting there in the first place. But, you know, whether you're doing some sneaky stuff like we saw earlier with the Dark Shrines, again, like WTF, that game on Frost. But well, Dark Shrines are a cheeky availability. We saw Harstem also trying to execute that in the Acer Team Story Cup the other day. Did not really work out for him either.
Okay.
He's probably, if I had to guess, just going to be going for that standard faster Colossus. Charge Lot Archon, Charge Lot Storms, like these are things that have kind of fallen to the wayside for the current Terran meta stage of the game. But one thing I am kind of looking for is they're not being utilized yet, but man, do I want to see some Hellbats versus Zealots at some point. Like, they're still not effective unless you have Blue Flame, but the whole transformation server thing, like, I just sit here excited about the potential of, like, new openings, new ways to possibly harass, you know, drop 3 Hellions, surprise, it's actually Hellbats type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't seen much of all of that, but, I mean, Widowmines also, I mean, they're so good versus Zealots right now, so it's kind of understandable, but...
Ooh, you know what? That's actually a really nice snipe there. Now, it didn't shut him down because XY knows that there's a base up here in the north. So the probe just doesn't get its proxy. It doesn't get to hide pylons. It doesn't get to hide tech. And this Reaper finally scattered by Harstem. It might get another probe, but maybe. Nah, we just can disengage. So the timings for this, guys. 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes, 7 minutes, like every one of these 30-second increments, that's when you want to go in with your Reaper typically to try and scout. Harstem knows this. That's why the Mothership Core stayed at home and it's not trying to harass an SCV line or anything so weird. That's why we don't have the Stalker moving across the map for like those 2 stock or the 1 Zealot Stalker poke. He wants to shut this Reaper down so he doesn't scout what's going on. Because for Terran players and Protoss players alike, scouting information is so critical in this matchup. For Terran players, it's I can't even stress, you need to know whether it's Blink, you need to know whether it's faster Colossus. And for Protoss players, it's not so much about predicting the tech of a Terran player, because let's be honest, all Terran players go in 1 tech, bio, that's it. Unless you're Goody, I guess. But it's more about the positioning, the engagements. Again, big nod to the fact that even though he lost earlier, Pink's engagements versus XY were really damn good because none of the observers were ever sniped. He saw where they were coming from every angle every time. He was defeated more by his own build order than he was by, I think, XY's like moves, I guess.
Sure, yeah. And we have those observer watching the Marines positioning now. He's just gonna put no charge. He has 3 stalkers in his main. So I guess he just didn't scout. No, he didn't scout. He didn't have any scouting information, didn't probe scout or anything. So he doesn't know if XY opened gas or not. So I guess he's scared of like a Marine push in the front and like a medevac drop at the same time. So maybe that's why he had the stalkers in the main all along.
Well, he did probe scout, remember, but the Reaper did chase it off, so it only got to see the naturals. That's the point I made earlier.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's not like he didn't try.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess with that lack of information that he had, yeah, he didn't want to try and, you know, he could have killed all of those Marines, honestly, but he didn't know that it was safe to chase them, so he just kept the stalkers in the main just to be on the safe side in case there was like a Widowmine drop coming in at the same time. So I like that. Just
yeah, safe
not
than
wanting
sorry.
to lose to anything. Yeah, silly like that.
Alright, so Colossus is coming out here. We also have the Twilight Council finishing up. If Blink comes out at this stage, guys, it's not for a Blink Stalker Ellen or anything like that. You need, not even want, but you need the maneuverability to deal with those Vikings. There's a lot of delicacies that come to the matchups on both sides of this. Again, like, I kind of hate to say it because, you know, you enjoy bashing on one race, of course, if that's not your race, but Terran and Protoss alike both have some very intricate engagements, and I've seen the different like arguments, right? People argue, okay, Terran's got to stutter more, they got to split more, they got to drop speed, they do way more, and the Protoss have to do a lot less, they just A-move, ha ha ha. But it's not really the case, because a lot of the times for Protoss, you know, you would love to just blink under Vikings and pick them off so they can't touch your Colossus, but in doing so, that puts you in range of the Marauders. The Marines, you have to be very careful about when you choose to engage, how you choose to engage, and when there's only like 1 or 2 Colossus available to you, it's really not easy to split your forces to deal with drops either. Photon Overcharge is only good in the early game. Once Medevacs come out, once Marauders and Stim are available, Photon Overcharge won't do a whole lot for you.
Yeah, gotta try and look at it when when you're getting furious with the Protoss splash. Just try and look at it from the Protoss perspective. It's, if both players are playing equally well, it's just, I mean, it takes a lot, as a Protoss player to get everything right as well, to make sure you don't take damage anywhere and take the right engagements, and it's a lot of stuff going on in the head of a Protoss player as well.
I do think one of the strongest things that a Protoss player can execute, though, is something similar to drop. When you go for the Warp Prism, right? When you warp in 12 Zealots on top of the barracks into the Mineral Alliance, like, the biggest weakness of Terran is their production sucks compared to every other race. Honestly, it's you're like 2 Marines at a time, fantastic, but who cares if they die as soon as they spawn type thing. So for Harstem right now, he's getting this army that's going to be set up nicely. He can't afford to go for a War Prism. He can't start doing Harass. And without a third base, he can't exactly afford 12 gateways. But once he gets to that safety period where he's got the army that can sort of sustain a third base, that's when it gets really scary for XY. Because again, right now, not a big deal. Protoss players, they're so used to playing off of 2 bases, Harstem's comfortable where he is. But he is going to have to start thinking about taking a third soon. Because, quite frankly, if he doesn't, then he's not going to be trading out so much as he will be just trying to hold on for dear life.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the pro production of Harstem right now. He's got 20 workers working in his main and 16 in his natural, and for now he's stopped making workers. I'm kind of curious. I guess he's just
looking to get aggressive
a little bit, or is he gonna
he's got pylons coming down, so he's gonna have warping potential elsewhere. But
yeah,
nice blink, catches one of the medevacs. Oh, I didn't even see. I guess in the main tried to go for a drop, but completely shut down. 7 HP. This medevac coming back home. So this is another problem too. Your medevac count is going to be typically 4. It's kind of, I think, all Terran players at some point had a meeting and agreed, like, look, guys, 4 is the best. Then we make Vikings, right? 4 is all we really need. The problem is though, he's already lost one of his medevacs, and quite frankly, he doesn't have any sort of wiggle room to make a 4th one to make up for it. If he had lost that other one as well, 2 medevacs will not cut it moving forward in the game. But one thing that's going to be really scary for Harstem was getting a third base up, and it's just nice. With these really open engagement areas, as soon as there's a ghost available for an EMP, honestly, it may even dictate an SCV pull. Yeah, it's really hard, though. I mean, for a Terran player, there's no build strategy that's like, all right, get to 140 supply, pull the SCVs. Like, it's just one of those, you see the opportunities, you go for it.
Yeah, and preferably, I mean, the timing when I land is the timing before Storm is out, and Harstem is throwing down the Templar Archives now, so Storm is quite a while away. So, I mean, XY has quite a big timing window here where he can, try to attack with a lot of Vikings. I don't feel like right now maybe it's the best time. Like, maybe he wants to get like 4 more Vikings at least, and then you could pull SCVs with that before Storm is done.
I really wish XY had a Raven, because he's not good at scouting the observers. Like, there's some players you watch like Major. They scout observers like nothing. They might as well not even be cloaked type thing. Jakshi's another one that's very notorious about this. But Harstem, I mean, we just look at his vision. He sees everything.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, XY would preferably want to get rid of those, but I guess he just doesn't see now. I mean, they're being still as well, so I mean, they're obviously a lot easier when to see when they're moving.
He's actually not gotten concussive shells.
Oh wow.
That's gonna not.
A mistake.
Yeah, it's not devastating of an upgrade, but here's the SUV pull, by the way, guys. So decides to pull the boys, knows the Colossus count, but Harstem saw this coming. So one of the biggest, most important things he does is back up to the top of this ramp. It's going to force this very beautiful concave for him. And there's even cannons coming down. I actually really like this very subtle touch.
But there's only one sentry for force fields, and Storm is not quite done, so...
Oh, the Vikings going way too early. Time Warp is so perfectly placed on this ramp. All the Vikings are pretty much gone already. There's not a lot to deal with the Colossus, but if this bio can make it through, he'll tear it to shreds. This is pretty much all in out of XY, guys. He's lost all the SCV buffer he has. He's trying to get on top of the Colossus. Now Harstem's own probes have been dictated and pulled him to the fight, but the cannons even managed to finish up behind this. And the Ghosts with their EMPs, way too late to the party.
He still has 2 force fields, didn't use them through that entire engagement. He does throw up another Guardian Shield now, so he spends the energy on that instead. But
I think XY's dead in the water.
yeah,
that's gonna be so
all
hard.
His workers there, and there's 2 Colossus, no Vikings, so yeah, that's gonna be it.
Yeah, that is pretty much it. Look at the shred to bits here at the bottom of the ramp. Probes are getting so viciously involved with this, but the Colossi chase this back, and we got some reinforcements coming out of XY, guys. He lost all of his SCVs in that push. Time Warp on that ramp. It wasn't the Colossus. He even got the cannons off it. That's why I throw that out there. Harstem did complete those cannons. They didn't get picked off. But goddamn, that Time Warp was so well placed out of Harstem.
Yeah. I mean, that was nicely done by him to identify, you know, he had a lot of, you know, good observers positioning, and he saw it coming, and, you know, just being up in the natural like that, forcing XY to, you know, since he pulled the SCVs, he had to go for it, and he had to go up that ramp. And, yeah, Harstem just not trying to defend his third, going straight up his natural, and, yeah, taking a really good fight there.
Absolutely. Well, now the score is 2-2, and XY is out for now. They can always resurrect him later if necessary, but Harstem is going to be a rough opponent. That being said, some of the best PvPers still lay in wait here, with Jim lying in the shadow, as Max said as well.